Do you think that Alvin and Donut should be boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah. Alvin's been wanting a girlfriend. Maybe I'm projecting. Are we recording?
Yes. Sorry.
Always be recording. Hey.
Oh.
Who was that, Alvin or Donut?
That was Donut being nasty.
Oh, well. You hang around Esther long enough.
She's definitely a little bit. Don't take it personally, Alvin. She does it to all of us.
All right. Let's get this over with, huh? Hey, do you use those kind of things like at the beginning of the episode? Those type of jokes like what I just said? Or should I say it again?
You should say it again.
Really?
I'm so glad you're wearing sunglasses.
Why would you say it again? We got it.
Because sometimes you edit out the fun stuff at the beginning.
What are you
Esther,
talking about?
Look at the solidarity with the sunglasses.
Wow. What is this?
I'm doing dramas now, so I gotta be a little bit low key. I'm gonna be hard to break open.
Rick, what's with you and the sunglasses?
Everyone's doing it.
Okay. I'm not.
Well, you have been my influence of how to dress and be for a while, but I'm thinking I'm going to lean more into Khalyla style.
Yay!
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is out of medical necessity, though.
Well, most things I do are as well. Let's get this over with.
Rick, I feel like you're in a bad mood.
Not at all.
Okay.
I don't think so. Look at the pants he's wearing. Festive.
But sometimes you
hilarious.
overcompensate when you're in a bad mood with your
So you must always be in a
outfits.
good mood. Brent doesn't get it, but
Yeah. Compensation.
Chicago. I am doing stand-up this weekend, Friday, March 21st and 22nd. That's right, this weekend in Chicago at the Den Theater. You can get tickets at the link below. I can't wait to return to my favorite city in the world and do stand-up for you guys. Khalyla, we have a Patreon, and we are sharing so much there. If you haven't joined yet, you can go to patreon.com/Trash Tuesday podcast.
If you thought we were unhinged,
Ooh,
here.
the tears.
Well, more than that. It gets extra unhinged on Patreon.
There's crying.
Almost every week.
And you get new bonus content every single week. We are taking our Patreon so seriously. And if you haven't joined yet, you can log on right now. You'll get access to 7 new bonus episodes that you haven't seen yet of this podcast of us being crazy together and crying. And also, we want to shout out to our golden sluggies. Thank you so much for your support. Brandon, Thomas, and Chrysanta. We love you guys. Check out our Patreon right now, patreon.com/Trash Tuesday podcast. Okay, so welcome back to Trash Tuesday. Today, what?
can I see what I look like in sunglasses?
Yeah, and could we minimize me?
I would love to be able to see your guys' pretty eyes.
I have a
You mean mine?
You're making fun of Khalyla's Bell's palsy?
no.
Insensitive.
Oh, wait. Yeah, you do look bad. Okay. What was
Yeah,
that?
those are better.
Oh, do you not have your regular person glasses?
These are prescription, and I have prescription indoor glasses.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait until things kind of cool down a little bit.
Okay, you're feeling heated? Is it because of how pretty I look?
You do look really
you do
good.
look really nice today. You do. You crop topped it on purpose.
Hasn't she accidentally gotten hotter as a mom?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I don't know how it happened.
All she had to do was have a baby,
And
then
She sucked
gets that
out
glow.
all the
she
just sucked it all
yeah.
right to where you always wanted.
I'm fighting to get back. Wait. So today we have a first-time guest. He's a hilarious comedian.
Thank you.
He has hilarious specials
Are you
on
reading
Netflix.
this?
Yeah, I'm reading it. It's in the lens. You don't see the prompter?
No.
Did she just speak from the heart? I need this today.
He's been my friend for 15 years. We've done stand-up together. He's so funny. He's also really handsome. And whenever I text him, he doesn't respond. And that's
Yeah.
something that I'm very used to. Please give it up for Brent Morin.
Give it up. Did we
Prayer
do this
hands
on
in it.
podcasts? Like it's a live show?
Yeah.
And then there's Rick. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me. Let's get this over with.
That's the 8th time you've said it. Is that your new
he's
half
got
Jewish, half
moves.
regular?
What?
Is that your new half Jewish, your new opener?
Oh, I don't know, man. Let's get this over with, you know?
Yeah, what's wrong with you today?
I don't think anything. Really, I don't think anything. I know that you like to gaslight.
Oh no, how am I gaslighting?
I would think there's something wrong with
What
you.
the is wrong with you?
I'm just saying, on Esther's side, you say, let's get it over with that
8
many
times.
times. If I didn't know you, I'd go, this guy.
Remember I
is
said that
so
when we got
cool.
when we got in the car.
Yeah. Oh, you did. You said
Yeah,
let's
just
get this
it's a little.
over
It's a
with.
little. It's today's joke.
Okay, then that's all you have to say.
Come
Why-
on, let's just get this
But
over
He's
with.
trying something new.
Do you feel actually like you were gaslighting me?
I don't know.
I still don't know what gaslighting is.
I don't think Rick does either.
This is why my career has taken a dip, because I don't know any of these things.
You think if
Wait,
you knew what
let's test
gaslighting
you.
was, your career
I think if
would
I
be
knew how
better?
to hashtag properly,
Wait, let's
maybe I can
No,
play a
that's-
goddamn theater.
That's done now.
Wait, we're done with hashtag.
Yeah,
Wait, let's
it's all
test you
QR
on the
codes
new
now.
pop psychology terms, okay?
Please.
Definitely.
Gaslight. Guess what it means.
Like poking a bear.
What does poking a bear mean?
See, that's the world I live in. You know, it's like, you know, my brother would poke the bear. It's just like, come on,
Push
and then
buttons.
finally you blow up.
Oh, okay.
So is that close?
No, not at all.
Okay.
What about holding space?
Holding space. Isn't that like, give me some time to think about this? No.
It's funny because like that definitely is a good tool, giving
Yeah.
someone time to think about it, but it's not holding space.
What's holding space?
Holding space is not making it about you at all. So when someone comes
You already
to
lost
you,
him.
I'm gone.
no, when someone comes to you with their issues, their problems, it's all about them. You're holding space. You're holding their feelings. You're not.
Oh, like I'm
putting
being
in
patient to a patient?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
What other
Let me
words?
explain
What
it
other
in
words?
terms that Brent will understand.
Yeah.
You want Sour Patch
Wow.
Kids,
Okay. Now you got me.
and we're in a venue where you're not allowed to eat.
Church.
So I then say, hey, Brent and I are going to step outside for something. We go outside and give you time to eat Sour Patch Kids.
And that's you holding space?
That's
me
No.
holding space.
That's you having. It's me holding
She's
space for
laughing
you.
at me. So you're holding space. He needs to get this out. It's like venting.
It's exactly like venting. Hey, you're
With Sour Patch
you're
Kids.
feeling a certain way. You know what? Feel that way. I accept you. Go ahead.
Exactly. Without Rick saying, "I too want Sour Patch Kids."
Or saying like,
Ah.
I don't think you should have those Sour Patch Kids. You're making a bad choice. We should be in church right now.
right.
Gaslighting.
No.
No.
Okay.
Not quite. Getting closer.
Getting closer.
Getting closer. Now, what other pop psychology terms are there?
Oh yeah. What about manifesting?
Manifesting?
Yeah.
Like a vision board?
That's
Okay.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All
that's
right.
good.
Don't ask a question.
You're
and
right,
then
you're
finally
right,
get
you're
it
right.
right, and then say it's easy.
You're right. You're right.
You know, Brent, let's go get
Yeah.
some Sour
I'm
Patch
sorry.
Kids.
Okay. We're going to go hold some space.
I wasn't holding space for you at all.
And you gaslit me.
It would actually be
No?
really cool if you were at like out at the comedy club and you're like, let's go hold space.
Let's
Like,
go hold space.
if I saw two men like saying that to each other, I'd be like, okay, I want to follow them. I want to know what's going on.
Whenever I talk to you about that kind of stuff, you're like, why are you such a f***ing loser?
yeah, well, because you're like, my hormones are off, and I just have never heard a guy say that. I love it,
I know.
but
I
it's
know.
surprising.
He's an open box of love and enjoyment mixed with bitter crumbliness of self-doubt,
I love
topped
you.
with an obscene amount of confidence.
I love Brent.
That's why he's one of my favorite people.
Legally,
Never a dull moment.
I don't want to be in a room with you unless Brent is there moving forward.
You asked if I wanted
I
to do this
speak Ricky.
podcast with Brent. I said yes. You said Brent didn't get back to me. Will you still do it? And I thought you were bait and switching
Yeah.
me that
That was my fault.
you were trying to. Oh, Rick will do it if Brent does it, because I've been asking for Brent to do it for a while, and that's just like, maybe if you're here, Rick. I just don't think the numbers will be good with just Brent.
It's
and I'm
true.
like,
I don't even know holding space.
Wait, can I tell you something really funny that just happened right now? I asked production. I looked over. I was like, "Hey, give me more pop psychology terms." Do you know what she just whispered to me?
What?
Riz.
You want to know why I know what Riz is? The only reason is because I watched a clip with that kid, Kai Sinet. Yeah, and I guess he came up with it or something on a live stream, and that's the only reason I watched a Jimmy Fallon clip. I'm 59.
I really love like your golf dad energy
A golf
and your
jacket.
wisdom.
Yeah. This is my aunt's second husband's jacket. Not a lie.
Is it?
He was a professional golfer.
Did
She
he
got
die?
around. No, she's divorced a lot.
Oh, and she just keeps his stuff and gives it to you?
I don't know. I found it. My dad had it.
a lot of
My
Brent's
brother had it.
clothes come from people in his families getting divorced.
Oh, okay.
Whose boots
No,
were
it's
those?
just nice. These boots, Shia LaBeouf's.
I still
Different
have
game, but
Yeah,
I
we
still
were
have
holding space.
a
and
bra that was from Benji's brother's, like a girl that he hooked up with that left it at their house. I still wear that bra.
the one in Malibu.
No, the house in the Sunset Plaza.
Because I remember I thought we went to that one in Malibu once.
No, that was at Sunset Plaza.
You, me, and Sandy years ago went
Yeah.
to Benji's place, and I thought there was a bra involved.
It wasn't Malibu. It was Sunset Plaza.
Wait, this is an interesting thing. You've
Oh, I forgot you were here. Sorry. Go
You
ahead.
scared me back.
Sorry.
Oh, Richard.
Richard.
When I moved in with Bobby, there were clothes
Lee?
from his ex with Bobby, yes, Lee, with Robert Lee. There were clothes from his ex, and we just happened to be the same size and height. And I liked what I saw, a lot of vintage stuff. And I think I still have some of her stuff. Is that evil?
No.
No,
I
she
think
didn't
that's
ask for it
great.
back.
I mean, it's the opposite of fast fashion. I'm for it.
Okay, good. I mean, we are friends, now. But.
You very much look like you're dressed in fast fashion today. Those
I know.
pants.
Okay.
I know. I feel like he's
All
about
right,
to have
Esther.
lunch
Oh no.
with Tyler, the Creator, after this.
But do you think do you feel like what Brent said, how he described you, was accurate?
Crumbles of neuroses with a lot of confidence. Yeah.
Oh, see,
my bio.
But that's your neuroses, because I also said open and loving.
Oh, I wasn't feeling bad about what you said.
Oh, we're in a fight.
No, not at all.
You gaslit me.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, wait. Love bombing. Don't look at the screen.
Love bombing?
Yeah.
He goes, when you
Love
come all over a
bombing.
woman's chest, right? I'm sorry, Esther. Tits. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but you have to go when you do it.
Yeah, you
Love
go.
bombing
It's right before you
is,
come, you go. Esther's
All right,
so
love
grossed
bombing.
out.
I'm really going to try. Love bombing.
I just want to cut to a hold on a second, Brent. I just want to cut to a montage of all the stuff you talk about, oh, I want everybody to eat me out after I've been on a plane and all this bullshit. And then you go coming on tits and you go, oh.
Yes, I do have
Which,
selective.
by the way, was me love bombing on you.
Yeah.
We've discovered this. I have like a selective thing with being grossed out by people, and you're on the list.
Okay, well, I'm glad I made the list.
Well,
Oh, fuck.
have I
Don't
really?
sneak up on me like that.
Have I really gone downhill? Is my face a jump scare these days?
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's not the joke I was trying
What's
to
the
make.
No.
joke?
That's a joke I'm receiving.
The joke he was, I speak Ricky.
Gaslighting.
What he's trying to make is that he forgot you were here.
Yeah, it's just a joke
That's
of
the
me.
joke.
The joke is more about me being easily startled than you being very forgettable.
Yeah.
One more time. Khalyla?
Do me?
Yeah. Ew. You know
No.
what? Those are the lines that I don't cross. Do you? You're a mother.
Thank you.
But I could love bomb you if you want.
Okay, and what would that be?
I don't know. I figured we could hold some space, gaslight each other, and then I'll love bomb the shit out of you. And then guess what? You'll leave with a little bit more riz. Not bad, see? Not bad. Okay, love bombing to me is just a girl that's fucking going nuts on
Already.
me about how she's in love after a first date.
Why
Close?
can't it be a guy?
Okay, a man is in love with me.
Yes, that's exactly it. Actually,
Really?
I'll take it from here. I'll
a
take it
girl
from
or
here.
a guy.
It's
But
a person, whether they're consciously doing it or not, manipulating another person into believing that they feel strong affection for them by presenting themselves as something that isn't who they really are, an unsustainable version of themselves. So, for example, if you're somebody who's always giving gifts all the time and you give a lot of gifts up top, it might seem like love bombing, but that's maybe who you are. But traditionally,
you pump the brakes.
yeah, chill out a little bit.
Okay.
Show up authentically from the beginning. And if you show affection, show appreciation.
So
you know
I
what?
come
I
off-
knew you were there.
So it'd be like I meet a girl and I come off like I wear a tux all the time, but underneath that, after a few months, is a sweatsuit.
It's more about like
That's a
you're
deep metaphor, I think.
you're buying her nice things and or you're inviting her places that are very exclusive or introducing her to your family very early or something that after
So moving too quick.
yes with
In an insincere way, because really
with
what
the
you're trying
intention
to
of
do
getting
is
them.
like bait them very quickly, and usually this is a tactic of narcissists because you bait them in and then they discard you.
Okay, so like manipulating the pussy.
A lot of times, yeah, people use
sings
love
that?
bombing to get
Well,
to the
I'm just
Lady
to get
Gaga.
to sex, and then eventually
would.
discard the person.
getting them to like you as opposed to you showing how much you like them.
all right.
Yeah.
I run into this problem with dating, especially in my 20s, where I don't do that treat them like dirt, stick to you like mud thing. I'm just me. I listen. I want to know about them. I support what they want to do, but I'm very upfront. Like, I'm not looking for a relationship. Just because I say I don't want more, the energy I give off, pillow talk, telling them they look pretty instead of hot, actually getting to know their lives, having heart-to-heart conversations. I just learned they maybe don't tell other people that. And so I always wondered, why are they mad at me? Because I told them I didn't want more and that this is over.
Because your words are not aligning with your actions. That's where it gets a little confusing, and that's where you fall
But
into
that's
a
just who I
situationship.
am as a person. I didn't want to have small talk. I want to get to know you. I want to, oh, you were depressed. This happened with you in your childhood, this and this. That's just who I am. So, but I get it.
That's
when I listened
tricky.
to this podcast with this doctor, I realized, okay, that explains a lot. Because what would happen with these girls is they would get mad at me. And then like 3 months later, they'd apologize to me, being like, you know what, you said you didn't want more, you didn't want this, you didn't want that, I should have known that. But then I'm apologizing like, well, I'm not trying to love bomb you.
I think what you have
That was
to
too
make.
personal.
No, that was not at all. It's actually
so interesting to hear from that
I would
perspective.
be pretty livid with both you and myself in
Yes,
that situation,
both.
because it's like, okay, you're telling me up front, but then you're showing me different. So I'm always gonna believe there's like a morsel of hope there that
Yeah.
maybe you're changing your mind, maybe we're falling into a deeper space together. I don't know, but
Yeah, maybe
I
you
would
thought that in the beginning, but
Yeah.
what you just did.
But I would
shows
say, like,
different.
moving forward, if you have no intention of really getting with a person
Got it.
down the road, don't show them that like
So more
level of
More like this. What up?
Not everybody
Let's get it on.
in this situation, perhaps the women that you're dating, feels comfortable or knows how to set boundaries for themselves. And though that's not your responsibility, to recognize that in another person is like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. And it would be nice for, not for you in particular, but for people to recognize when other people haven't set boundaries, to say, oh, maybe this isn't a safe space for us to grow. Even if it were to turn out to be something nice, you also want to be with somebody who's able to set boundaries.
Yeah, and I got that,
Has there ever been a situation where she's been like,
Jesus Christ. Just make sure you get the camera switches right in post.
you really upset you didn't see yourself before?
I'm so happy I can't
Anyways,
see this.
has there ever been a situation where the girl's been like, hey, like, called you out on it? It's like, you say you don't want a relationship, but you're acting like you want to be in this, like,
Only when I actually got in a real relationship, because I said I wasn't looking for one, but I fell hard and I fell in love right away. I was a hopeless romantic who thought, I'm going to meet the one and then I'll be ready. And I only learned this because when I was posting me and my girlfriend, a lot of these girls started messaging her and being like saying, just so you know, I hooked up with him. And just so you know, back in the day, we did this and blah, blah, blah. Like trying to sabotage my relationship.
What kind
and
of stuff?
And some girls actually tried to make friends with my girlfriend behind my back for no reason. And I'd go to the comedy store and they'd be like, hey, Brent, do you know so-and-so? And I'm like, how did you meet her? She was like, oh, we just got to talk and we met on a hike, and, and then they would go and be friends. And he goes, I got to tell you something. I used to hook up with Brent. So now I'm in a fucking fight about this girl, but it put me in such a weird position. And then those were some of the girls who apologized after we fucking broke up. I'm like, sorry, I tried to ruin it for you. It's just, I didn't know why her and not me.
oh, whoa.
Yeah. Well,
That's interesting. That's only ever happened to me once. I dated Bobby, and there was this girl who was really adamant about like building this friendship with me, and then we became friends.
yeah.
Only to find out later on, not through her though, but through Bobby. He's like, we used to.
Is that the girl whose clothes you're wearing?
No, that was his real ex, who I'm actually friends with now, which is a little bit weird to say, but we're really like good friends.
You guys want to start doing some jokes or something?
Yeah.
The fuck
Go
is
ahead.
this?
We're
Let's
having
try.
a conversation.
Please don't gaslight me. All right? I'm love bombing right
Rick,
now.
where are you at with love? Is that
he
something
is
we?
fucking Rick. We both are. Let's just get it over with and get together.
Honestly, and I
Oh, here it comes.
if I were gay, instead of just bi but too scared to act on it, I would not be attracted to you.
Why?
Not physically
Oh, so
attracted
physically,
to you. And no. No, we're just too different. We're just too different.
That's what makes a good couple.
I know.
No. I didn't say we're different.
We used to remember when we were
So we're
neighbors,
too different.
and I would go out and do shows, and you would tape "This Is Us" for us or The Voice, and then we'd sit down till 3 a.m. and watch our programs.
I do.
Sometimes I'd sleep over on the couch, We'd take a walk, get some coffee.
Could we put up the montage of all the times
We'd
you
argue.
sleeping?
We had tears.
Well, there is
I have
this-
hundreds of pictures of Brent sleeping on my couch, each one from a different day.
Yep.
I believe this, and because there is this running theory that men don't actually, if it wasn't for pussy, you guys would be in relationships.
Oh yeah, that's Dave says that all the time.
It's like you guys
Wait,
actually.
Why?
He doesn't say that.
And why does he tell you?
When he's with it, whenever him and his best friend are together, they're just like, oh man, like I wish.
Yeah, what you're talking about is intimacy, and intimacy doesn't have to be romantic,
might
but it is a
be-
beautiful. One sec, go ahead, Brent.
This might be a different thing happening here.
And they cuddle.
Yeah, you just, right after coitus, all of a sudden, he's just going, oh, man, Mark, right? Not for nothing, but if I was gay, I would totally be with him.
Do you find yourself enjoying the company of Brent more than any of the girls you've been with?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I feel like I can't see your eyes, and I feel like I'm missing more of your jokes when you have your.
I haven't been
sunglasses
making any, and also I don't think you've ever not missed one of my jokes.
on. Oh.
I don't
Even
know.
that one.
Yours are real thinkers. You
There
gotta
he
really
is. There's
think
that
about it.
beautiful man. Oh
back,
my
Ricky.
goodness.
Wow. You look awesome. Now this is Riz.
Reminder, I'm still here. Didn't want to scare you, but I am still here.
Okay.
How's
All right.
everyone's inner child feeling right now?
Oh, great question, Esther.
My inner child's front and center. I'm looking for the adult. I've been talking to. Go ahead, Brent.
No, I was pointing in agreement.
I've been having so many conversations with him. Excuse me, them.
Oh, multiple.
Yes, there is pre-glasses Rick and glasses Rick.
What are you saying to pre-glasses? Let's start with pre-glasses.
Glass boy and glass man.
Just put your socks on. It doesn't matter how it feels. Let's go.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Difficult advice, but
Because once you is that Esther and me in the bottom? Is that hot Esther and hot me at the bottom?
Oh, I haven't seen that movie, Nora.
Me either.
they spent
6
$6 million to make the movie and $18 million apparently to
Promote it.
For Drugstore June, wasn't the post-production budget to fix you up like more expensive than the whole movie?
Yeah, it was. They had to fix me.
Yeah.
I had a lot of gas, and they had to degas me.
Really?
Yeah, have you ever had that?
I don't know if this is a joke or if you're just.
That is the rudest thing anyone
That's rude.
could
What he
ever
just
say.
said was rude.
We have a dynamic.
I
Not
said
really. It's off.
what would have been rude is I go, okay, I see it. That would have been rude.
Wait, back
really
to inner
was
child.
like, no.
I was really interested in pre-glasses, Rick.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm catching myself and my OCD's getting pretty bad, I say, hey, you've been here for a long time and it's fine. So you could go through the route, you could go through the bullshit for 4 or 5 more minutes, or just get anxious for a minute, don't do it, and move on. I've been doing that. He's helped me a whole bunch.
Alvin, yes. Dogs will heal you.
It's a natural Xanax right there.
And then when I talk to Kid Rick post glasses when he's a little bit older, it's more a parenting thing where because adult Rick and Kid Rick both don't want to do the thing, whatever the thing might be.
What's an example for
The
adult
easiest one where this became conscious that I was like using this as a tool is
Where's the jokes?
you said you guys didn't want them.
You said you did want them.
I did, but you guys like what your podcast has become. So I'm just, I'm trying not to control everything. That's me talking to Kid Rick
So
again.
this is classy classics. Cut. Do it again.
Take it back.
Yeah, I took
Say
the sunglasses
action.
off. Go
Somebody-
ahead, Brent.
Are you a go-ahead guy or an action guy?
Go ahead.
I need to know who I'm
Because we
working
didn't
with.
cut.
Oh, you didn't cut?
No, keep it
Okay.
going.
This is classic glasses, Rick. No, this is one more time.
Here we go. Just do a few.
What are you?
Whenever you're
No,
ready, you
here we
take
go.
it. We'll wait.
No, Esther. Adding words.
Esther, here,
Esther-
Brent, say where are the jokes. I got you.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll
Lead me
lead
in,
you
please.
Where are the jokes?
You had your palms up.
Yep.
Well, we'll use my cut from the way
But
I did it last time.
if we're using a 2-shot,
I don't want to give you a line reading as another actor on set, but
I'll give it
can
to
you
her.
give it the
Better,
pizzazz?
better.
You
His
actually
acting is-
extended all the
you
way.
extended and you yelled it. and I need to
Okay,
react
then
to
I
that.
need you to lead me in.
Sure.
Okay, so you lead in.
Now, where I
We're
became
$2 million
conscious
over
of
budget.
this, when I first became conscious of this was when, like, I'm staying up late at night and it's time to go to bed. And how much time do you want me to do,
Oh
Esther?
my God, I fell asleep. I fell asleep. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. This is why you aren't acting anymore.
Are you on a show right now?
No, I'm not.
Are you projecting onto me?
No.
I know projecting.
What is it?
It's where you just project, I guess.
Say it loud.
Yeah.
That's like a theater version of
Projecting is like being like, God, you're so insecure and you can never find love, and you know what? To be honest, you're gaining some weight, but in reality, I can't find love. Right?
That's
projecting.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And we all kind of do it
Look
all
at
the
me.
time. You'll notice.
Oh yeah.
We
it's
all
my
do it
act.
all the
Well,
time.
it's great to check in with yourself when you're doing it, too. Are you good at catching yourself when you're projecting?
Yeah. Are you good at catching yourself when projecting?
I am trying, and I think so. I'm better than I used to be, and that's the only person I can compare myself to.
This is like two genius fourth graders at recess. Are you good
Watch
at
this.
catching yourself
Ryan, spell
projecting?
recess.
Are you good at catching yourself projecting?
Spell recess.
Um,
Really try.
Really try?
Yeah.
RECCESS.
Is that right? Is there one C or two?
No, I'm not
There's
done.
There's your jokes.
Accent over the last S. Oh my God! Finally, a cuddle buddy.
Rick, let's get vulnerable. What's going on?
Well, he was doing inner child stuff. I actually found that pretty fascinating.
Let's talk about present day.
And I mean this in a nice way. I don't think you get Botox, right?
No.
Right. So I want to let you know that when you are feigning sincerity, excuse me, being sincere. What's the difference with this slut? Jerk. You see how her eyebrows are raising right now? That's because she's having a real emotion. A lot of times when she says, hey, why don't you do that? There's no thoughts, there's no raising of eyebrows, there's no squinting, and I could tell that you're being disingenuous.
Wait.
So you weren't asking to hear about me, you were trying to set something up for fun, and I'm not upset about this. But I want you to know I don't read you like a book, because I don't know how to read. But I read you like a person that I've studied. And let me tell you something, she ain't pretty. We'll be right back with a word from Helix Sleep.
Wait, this is so interesting. 'cause
Projecting.
I always thought you were someone that had trouble reading.
Oh, I'm so good at it now.
Social cues.
No, wait,
very
this is
good at it now.
you just gave me
Really?
the
Yeah.
biggest compliment because I'm literally trying to do less facial expressions because my mom doesn't do them, and that's why she looks good for her age. So thank you.
But don't you think your mom is, and I'm sorry for saying this, cold?
Yes.
Is that what you want?
You
want to look
when
good
I'm
and be
talking
cold?
To you, I want to look good and be cold.
Interesting. I didn't realize you liked me that way.
God, you
And
are
we're back.
you are exploding with Riz.
Riz Glassman.
Yeah.
All right, Rick.
Sorry for lumbobbing on your face there. Just clean those glasses off.
Love bomb. Oh, gross. Gross.
Oh, the boy.
All right. Okay, relax there.
Elvin.
You know why he's like loving me, right?
Slub bombing you on about
I
3,
have milk
2,
in my
1.
tits, is why.
Rick, do you let Alvin lick the inside of your mouth?
No.
Oh, you don't?
Face, lips.
I love when he licks my face, but it grosses me out at the same time. So I let him do 1 or 2, and then I ask him to stop, and he does.
Okay, so gaslighting, I just looked it up on the screen, and it's manipulating someone into doubting their own reality.
Oh,
I do feel
Hannibal Lecter.
that that's what you do to me.
I know you do.
Yeah.
And while we're on the subject of projecting, and I've said this to you before, out of all my friends, you literally built your brand on gaslighting people. I don't even know if you know when you're doing it. I think it's insane. So maybe
now you're projecting clearly, right?
No,
Is that
if-
what
if
you're
I-
doing? Is that the
no.
bit we're doing?
I think he's doing meta gaslighting to you.
Because I'm just specific example.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of the episode, I was like, what's wrong? I feel like you're in a bad mood. And you told me like, no, you're not.
I'm not.
But you had said multiple times you wanted to get it over with.
Yeah, I was just making a joke. I say that on my podcast when I start all the time. All right, let's
Okay.
get this over with.
Okay.
Just a little joke.
Well, that was my reality. And then now it's cleared up.
Good.
Wow.
Okay.
That was cray cray. Is that
Brent
something?
checking in. You feeling okay?
Did you guys just trauma
Yeah.
bond?
Yeah, him and I are like the kids of like parents fighting. We're just looking at like,
Yeah.
What are you eating while we're fighting?
oh, breadcrumbing. Speaking of food, what do you think breadcrumbing is?
That's breadcrumbing is,
After
I'm with Rick and he says something insulting to Esther and then I go, not to mention the glasses. Is that like I'm just putting the crumbs on top of the insult?
No, it's if love was bread, If love was carbohydrates,
Christ.
as an analogy, if love was carbohydrates, you're not giving somebody enough sustenance, but you're giving them enough to like, hey, follow me, like Hansel and Gretel.
Kind of like dangling a carrot.
Oh, I'm giving you a little bit, but then I don't
Not
give
enough.
you more.
And then that person is like chasing more breadcrumbs. And this is another issue of not being able to set your own boundaries of like, hey, shame on them for taking up just the breadcrumbs. But sometimes when you have love for somebody, it's hard to see the forest for the trees, you know, and you just try to get that little bit of taste, that little fix.
It's hard to see the forest and the trees is what I'm stuck on now. Isn't a forest trees?
Sometimes you're just so focused on this tree that you don't realize there's a whole forest here, and seeing it as one big
I
thing.
find it hard for me to be stuck on one tree if I'm in a forest. I mean, there's so many trees.
Well,
I'm kind of with
ain't that
you.
the thing?
Unless there's something on the tree, like an owl.
Seeing the bigger picture. Like, hey, listen, you're really focused on this one episode being
Yeah, but
boring,
wouldn't
but
that-
look at all of your boring episodes.
But
this
if
is just
I-
what the show
See,
is.
okay,
But
let
if
me
I'm
check in
looking
with
at a
you.
tree with an owl in a forest, I'm
Hold
going
on,
to look
hold
at
on.
that tree because of the owl.
Let me
Esther,
check in
I
with
want to hold
you.
space for Esther.
How do you feel when he does that? Oh, your show is not funny anymore. It's boring all the time. Where does that land with you?
I don't know. It's mean. It's mean, and it doesn't make me feel good. But then I have trouble telling you that because I feel like you'll just say something meaner back.
Yes! 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 I feel like
And-
you can say that, but if I said that, I would just get pounded and pummeled even further.
Because I'm not as quick as
I
you.
was trying to stay quiet, but I can't.
I think that's
Oh
a
my
problem.
God.
Here's where I have trouble in life a lot. And I hope you'll give me like maybe 30 seconds to finish this thought without saying like, wrap it up or let's get it over with. I think that I love you so deeply, but you're so brilliant and you're so quick. It's sometimes hard to contend with that and tell you how I truly feel because I feel like you're just going to trample it because you're smarter than me, you're quicker than me, and your brain is connected to your mouth and therefore you're able to get your thoughts much quicker. Versus me, it takes time to process. So I'll leave here feeling like, gosh, why did Rick say that so many times about our show? And probably never say it to you because I have trouble contending with fast speakers. Does that make sense?
Wow.
And
But
I'll
then
say-
also on the same note, I truly, truly love you. But
Yeah,
also
it's confusing.
It is mean.
And I would also like to add, like, it's honestly really, and I'm sorry, like, I wanted to wait and, like, say cut or whatever, but, like, I feel like it was really hard just now when we were starting and you said that I said I didn't want to have Brent on without you because it wouldn't do good numbers. Like, I don't remember saying that. I might have. I say
no,
that
you
sometimes.
didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You did. She didn't. She never said that.
I never
that
thought
was-
he did.
But that was so, like, mean. And I felt like it was mean to Brent, but it was coming from me in that way that you packaged it. And then he said something bad about himself, like, yeah, I get it. And I'm just, like, sitting here thinking, like, oh, my God, does Brent think that I said that? And, like, I'm an
Aw.
asshole. And I'm, like, thrown off by it. And it was just,
Yeah.
but then I
Aw.
know if I say something, then you'll be like, I was just joking. And then I'm like, okay, well, should I not have said anything? I don't know.
I would like to.
Get out of here. Let's do it. Let's get out of
No,
here.
I love this. This is powerful.
I'm sweating.
Don't sweat. The thing is, as intimate as I am
Even
with Ricky,
telling you that makes me feel so shitty.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just
I'll
know,
respond
I
if
got to
I
be
may
honest,
after, but
from my perspective, I just know Rick so well that all of them are jokes. But I know that they can be interpreted as not jokes. So when he's saying it won't do those numbers, I know he's joking. Well, there's probably some truth in it, but I don't get affected by that at all. And I didn't even process that you wouldn't want me on because of that.
Well, I'm so glad I said something because that's so.
I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May I?
Yes.
Yeah.
First, I'm sorry that me doing those things made you feel that way, and I'm sorry that the experience that you've had with me left you not feeling safe to tell me how you feel. Though I'm joking, I don't ever think that's an excuse to do something because though my intentions were one thing, the way you received them is equally valid. From my perspective, I didn't know that you felt this way. And had I, and now that I do, genuinely, I'm sorry for that. I also feel that, and tell me if you disagree with this, off camera, I don't make those kinds of jokes, not for better or worse. And I am coming into a place, on some podcasts I feel more than others, this being one of them, more specifically being with you, where I feel the dynamic is you punch me and I punch back. we might have a different understanding of who punched first, but this time with so many podcasts that we've done with one another, it doesn't really matter. The dynamic is siblings fighting. So I come in being a very competitive person. Even in my jokes, I don't know what your numbers are or how the podcast is doing. I hope well. I'm lovingly and playfully shitting on you because that's what the dynamic has been.
I think I'll give you that. I think that you're very good. Who you are in this mode is very different from
You got to pick a
off-camera.
character when you're
Right.
When I come on
Coming in on-
And I
podcasts,
think that's always been, like, having podcasted with Bobby for like fucking over 10 years. That's always been our issue. It's like who he was. I would on when the cameras were on, I would interpret personally. I would take it personally, and then at the end of it all, he'd be like, "No, like, this is all play. This is entertainment. I gotta switch it on," and because that's not who he was when the cameras were off. And I will give you that. You are genuinely one of the kindest, sweetest, best listeners off camera.
I agree that I have a really great relationship with you off camera, and I think maybe that's why it is confusing. It's almost like, even though what you're saying is true, it's clear one is on camera, one is off. Like, my brain is like not comprehending that, and it's like I don't know. But I definitely want to give you that I do agree. Like, you're a very nice, great person when the cameras aren't there.
I've heard this my whole life. This is an issue with basketball, like playing intense or being a certain way, and then off the court, it's like, oh, I thought we were just playing. So
Remember when you pulled that guy's hair?
Wait, can I ask her?
Wait, did you pull someone's
Yeah, he was frustrated. Guy had beautiful long hair, and he
tripped me. And when I was getting up, he held me down. So then
he pulled his hair.
So he held me down, and then he got up. And when he was getting up, I wanted to hold him down, and he was like this, and I grabbed his hair and I pulled his hair down. Yeah,
Beautiful long hair, and then he gets up. Did you just pull my hair? Starts chasing him around. He goes, okay.
Hey, man, what can I tell you?
It's heat of the game.
Is the feedback you get in basketball that you sometimes are too aggressive?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do think that's
When I
interesting.
when I get competitive,
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that.
What's that?
I'm guilty of that in basketball. We can't play with certain people. 'Cause
I
then
can now.
Well, remember we both twisted our ankle because people didn't know what they were doing, and I'm the
it's
the
their-
Irish New Englander going,
it's their
learn to play
fault?
the fucking game if you're gonna fucking play. It's like a 5-on-5 in some
sorry.
small gym with people who'll never play.
It's their fault you twisted your ankle.
Yeah, because they're in the way. Like, learn how to move.
There are some people that will push you for
Learn
the back
how
or
to
do
not
this.
twist your ankle.
Well, when you got some guy who just runs in front of you when he's not supposed to be near you and goes right into your ankle when you're supposed to be on the wing, and I'm taking the ball up and you're supposed to set a screen to cut this way, but you don't know what you're doing, so why are you even here? It really pissed me off. And then I just lost it.
A little unrelated, but my sister simultaneously twisted both of her ankles
Oh, boy.
when she was, I think, 20 years old. We went to a house party, and she went upstairs to use the bathroom, and my friend's mom was masturbating to porn.
What?
And
Wait, at the party?
at the party. when
So
the
she's
kids
up
were-
there, but downstairs you hear...
Yeah, so my sister goes, it's just like the bathroom's being used downstairs. She goes upstairs, walks into this Asian lady's bedroom boudoir, and the lady's like furiously masturbating.
Furiously.
My
To the
sister
beat?
freaks out, misses a step, and twists both her ankles. And then slides down. It was really,
I have
really...
to say, I was like, where are you going with this? We're in the middle of something, and now I'm all about this.
Yeah. All I'm picturing is an older Asian woman furiously masturbating to some aggressive porn while some kind of rave's going on downstairs, and then your sister walks up just seeing... I've assumed that's aggressive masturbation.
It is. It was pretty aggressive. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I didn't mean to...
No, that's what kind of how old?
It was in Hancock Park. Oh, how old
she was
she?
20. So it was...
Hancock or hand clit?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be a good name.
Rick, let's continue this. How are you feeling? Because I don't want you to feel ganged up on or attacked, but I also do feel that...
I love when people tell me how they feel.
Yeah, he's used to it.
If you told me this a while ago, then we would have had this conversation a while ago. Not putting that on you, and I understand you didn't feel comfortable doing it, but I had no idea you guys felt that way.
I think it's a little bit like, do we let him just go off and shine because you are so funny? I would never want to stifle like anything you do, so it's like, we'll figure it out in post.
But like I think it's maybe just certain subject matter, or it just, it feels...
I don't know what those subject matters are, because we've had this with when we did Rick and Esther. Like, there are times where it's just boom, 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 and then there's times where your feelings would get hurt, and I'm like, which is valid. I just like, I don't know what the rules are, apparently.
I think it's not that there are rules. It's just that when I'm sitting here and now twice there's been a joke about how our show is not funny and is boring. I'm like, what is that? Why?
Okay, well, I am feeling a little defensive right now.
Okay.
Because you say things, and I can't think of a specific example like that.
That's okay.
But you say things like that to me all the time. You'll snore while I'm talking. You're saying I'm boring. When we're on my podcast and I'm doing some of my silly animations, you're like, this is stupid. Why would you do that? And like, you make fun of that stuff. And I believe both that you respect me and that you might not like those jokes or those animated those things. And there's truth and there's silliness, and like, we're different. I am able to receive things in a certain way, not for better or for worse, differently than you. And it's easy to get confused of like, oh, I could take this, so she can, when that's not necessarily the case. But I will say, the rules are not something that I came into our relationship with, rather something that we calibrated together. Mm-hmm. And there are times where the same thing the next time bothers you. Even you said, oh, well, Rick, I made this decision that sometimes people gross me out and you're on the list, or however you said it. And it's like, I remember we did an episode once where I was talking about something, and then I'm like, and then this girl went blah, blah, blah. It was a very maybe PG-13, if not PG joke, and you lost it. And I was like, oh, okay.
What does lost it mean, though? That's like, sounds like...
I would love to cut to a clip. Ew. See, it makes me not even want to be doing this with you.
But see, that's funny.
Whether it's funny or not.
Yeah.
It was you judging what I was doing, saying it was not good.
In a comedic way.
Sure, in your comedic way.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, right, those are the rules that we've established.
Yes.
So in my comedic way, when I'm like, I mean, we do this stuff all the time. We used to do this on Undateable when it was like, when something happens and we go... and the ratings are going down in that moment. It's just, we're self-deprecating. We make jokes about each other, about other people. Now, there are some people you can't do that with.
Do that live on TV.
It is a little confusing with you because you do it all the time. And
I do what all the time?
Punch and make fun.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that I punch all the time.
Okay, well,
but
to me, I receive it that way, and I like it.
Punching back.
Look, I agree. I like it. I like when you punch at me. It's fun.
So I don't know when. So what I've just learned is there's a sensitivity to maybe talking about the show as a whole. Check. To be honest, it feels like punching down, right? Because your podcast is more successful than ours, and it feels like you're coming on our podcast and saying and I know you said you don't know our numbers, but the last time we had a phone call, we were talking numbers. Maybe you don't remember. I don't expect you to remember everything we say to each other, but I was telling you our numbers and compared to yours, and they are much lower. And so I think that's where when it feels like you're punching down. When you call me ugly, I don't give a fuck, because I personally don't think you're punching down. I think I'm prettier than you. But I do feel that when you come on our podcast and you say your numbers are bad and it's boring, I go, ugh. It's almost like if Scarlett Johansson walked in the room and was like, Esther, you're ugly and you're never going to be acting and in movies. I'd be like, why the fuck are you saying that to me, bitch?
Oh, that'd be
Wouldn't I making
Is she
similar
here?
jokes to you guys on Tiger Belly? And like, oh, this is this, and stuff more to Bobby than to you. Like, I would be punching Bobby too. Again,
you might not be viewing it that way. That's the way I'm receiving it, as it feels like punching down. I'm not saying that you're on purpose punching down.
Well, I am sorry. I don't see you or a show. I'm genuinely I didn't even think as lesser than. You guys are my friends, and I make jokes at you, and I guess since this is your podcast, by association, your podcast, which is also your podcast, and then you're feeling it too. I don't know. I was just like, I'm just throwing fucking darts, and I'm not meaning to make excuses. Really, I'm sorry. Clocked. I will not make jokes about your podcast anymore.
May it hit the triple down.
There are some other things that you have brought up to me that is not relevant outside of the fact that there are just variables of certain things to not make jokes at that I've heard you and I haven't. There are certain things that like I know, hey, this is not something to play with. I didn't realize this was one of those. And had we had that conversation, I'll say I didn't remember. And I think I get it now.
Can I give an analogy? Okay. you know, you guys are throwing a lot of words at me, and I'm walking into a relationship that feels a little bit at the end, and I brought the cheap wine. Now I'm feeling bad about it, but the dinner's almost ready. Let me, as somebody who speaks Ricky, let me just, knowing him for, 20 years, I'll give a great analogy of Ricky. Ricky can't wrestle. Let me explain. So sometimes, you know, guys, like I remember we'd be outside a show and we'd have like comedian friends and he kind of mess around, ha, 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 ha. But once you engage in that game with Rick, he's going to choke you out. So, and he did that to a few friends. I go, what are you doing, man? Oh, I thought we were wrestling. Yeah. And it's like, no, I was just playing around. So what I'm saying is that when Rick commits to the game, that's the game. For him here, that's his game.
Sorry, and not to like give you a better analogy.
Oh, please. Well, you know what? Now we got a problem. You know, first off, you come in here gaslighting me, all right? You're probably going to ghost me, and God knows if you're future faking me. And I swear to God, boundaries have been crossed, and codependency is something I need.
We both have. No, we both have. Well, I think what you're trying to say is in the game of jiu-jitsu, you don't know how to spar. He knows how to choke someone out and to finish, but he doesn't know how to train and spar. He will go for the finish. It's just the play thing.
He, you know, because there's so many times we'd be somewhere and I go, Ricky doesn't play. Ricky doesn't play.
By the way, that wasn't an insult. I think that's.
I understand. I also have really worked hard on that and recognizing when I'm wrestling when the other people are sparring.
Yeah.
And I believe I have not only been working on it, but have gotten quite good at it. I'm not a magician, but when somebody says to me, hey, we're sparring, it's very easy for me. Like you said, you were nervous, and Rick, how are you? I value information like that so much. It doesn't make me feel lesser about myself. It makes me feel grateful that I can now calibrate and fit in better with certain people. So I might not recognize that you're sparring. And with you especially, it's very confusing because your spar turns into wrestling, back into spar. I don't know the rules with you. I do believe you. So when somebody says, hey, Rick, that hurts my feelings, I wouldn't say, that hurts my feelings. You know, I would be like, what did I just miss?
You gotta laugh.
Yeah, he'll do that. Like, you know, a lot of ball busting that happened on the set of Undateable. And, man, they really threw me under the bus on that show. You know, scripts just got to the point they'd be like, Justin, you look bad with no chin. I go, that's not even a joke. That's just how I look today. That'd be like in the script. The writers see me and do that. But I've told you and I told Chris, like, you know, I could take the jokes. I have fun. But I told Rick privately, I said, just don't make fun of my hair. You know, and I told Chris privately, and they both went, done. You know, didn't know that bothered you. And I was like, yeah, because I'm buying this now and doing all that shit. I don't care. Go get a doctor. Go to Turkey. I didn't go yet, but I'm going to go again. It's like tattoos, man. I want to fucking Sonic the Hedgehog this one day. But they just went, oh, okay, that's off limits. And they never brought it up again, unless we're together talking about hair.
There was an episode where after that, Bill.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about already?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The water?
Yeah, when we were live.
Yeah, and Bill said he wanted me to dump this bucket of water on Brent's head, and I go, I don't think we should do that. Brent is a little insecure about his hair, and he goes, it's funny, it's fine. He'll think it's funny. If it's funny, it's fine, or something like that. And then
Live,
I'm like,
national television.
So I did it. It's at the very end of the episode, so there's maybe 10 seconds after. I poured the water on him, and I put do you remember? I put the bucket over his head, and I left the bucket on his head,
and
so you couldn't see his hair. I'm so sorry I had to do this, but don't take it off yet until the show is over. So I did what I had to do, but I left so you couldn't see his hair.
And I was in there like, thank you.
That's really sweet. And I want to piggyback off of that and say, Rick, that genuinely the fact that we can even have this conversation and like, because it probably, I would imagine that when you get feedback like this, it makes you maybe feel under attack. I know I personally would, like, because it's just hard to take criticism or whatever. And I just really appreciate that you create a safe space and that you are comfortable and you are so intelligent that you're able to take it really well. And I don't know, I'm just really appreciative of the safety that you create for me to feel like I can say how I feel and not be like made fun of, or just honestly to be received is like, it's really a huge deal. And I don't know a lot of people that are capable of that, myself included. Like, I don't know.
Thank you. when I joke, the intention for me behind it is maybe 100%, if not almost 100%, a form of like connection. And I'm wanting to connect. And I think I'm connecting. When I find out I'm not, now we're floating, and where's the connection? It's just honesty and like telling me how you feel. So like I'll grab onto that just as easily as this. This is just where I live and play. But like the moment we're like, hey, I can't have this now, I want this other lifeline of that. So
Wow.
I'm wanting to connect all the time. This idea of not liking small talk, I get, and I don't. And I talk about it in my act a lot, but it's not that small talk it's bad. It's just that a lot of times it cannibalizes true connection. And to me, more than most, and I understand it's annoying to people, I love bits so much. I always want to do them. And it's not just being silly. It's being seen and being received and playing that back and forth. And we fell in love because of it, because I'm doing bits with Brent, and when I'm not doing bits with Brent, I'm in the audience watching him do it. And I don't mean at a comedy club. I mean in conversation. Sometimes Brent's in the pocket, and I think he's the funniest person in the world when he's in the pocket.
The pocket.
But when not, it's genuine.
Having
It's
trouble
like
finding it right now.
and I've also experienced this in my personal, like my intimate relationships. Like there are times where it's like, oh, like this person that I'm competing with who makes a little joke at me, and I'm like, I love this. They didn't hurt my feelings. It's like, oh, we're connecting. Let me do it back and fucking harder. And it's to connect even more with you.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I maybe hurt their feelings or they didn't feel seen. Like my girlfriend, when I'm dating somebody, isn't Brent. And it's like,
Wait.
I'm being serious. It was a real thing I had. Like, it's like,
Yes,
it
I
could
get
be
it.
if I'm dating somebody who is like Brent, then it is. But if it's not, sometimes I forget, because when I'm in play mode and I become Kid Rick again, it's wrestling and we're having fun. And I'm assuming, or rather than assuming, I'm not even considering that this person opposite me doesn't think the way that I do. And it's sometimes easy for me to forget that, or at least not pick up on that unless they tell me. So I'm just, anyway.
Yeah, just tell them.
No, I get it.
That's what I tell people.
I
Just tell them.
honestly have had a similar thing in my relationship with Dave, where he literally has a podcast called The Great Debates, where him and this other really smart guy, they debate like nonsense topics. And Dave just like, he is an arguer and a debater, and he's brilliant at it. And I was starting to feel like these little conversations, like that arguer would come out and I'd be like,
Yeah, I'm like that too.
yeah. And so I understand that.
Get
And
off on it. It's
yeah. And I'm like, and I've just learned to be like, this isn't a great debate. Like now
And you
it's,
say that, you mean? So he goes, oh, I'm doing that thing?
yeah, I think that we have our funny way of getting out of it, but like it used to be a thing where I'd be like, what's happening?
Wait, that really, really makes a lot of sense. I've done this so many times where I've been the constant like contrarian.
That's what he is.
Just because it's worked with other people, and the contrarian relationship works really well for some, and then I speak to someone else who just doesn't like that kind of relationship at all, and I know that feeling. Or when someone is being like just constantly a contrarian with me, it's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in an intimate relationship with them, where it's like, well, actually, I just needed your support. I didn't need you to be the play a devil's advocate.
Totally. And
Yeah.
I think that Rick, like, it's just such a relatable topic that you just brought up. I think that's why we're both like going off on it, because when you in your intimate relationship, you're like one thing, it's not translating that how you are with your friends. Like I'll make jokes that I make with Caroline. If I take those over to Dave, he's like, what? It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough though sometimes.
Let's just get together. We're not going anywhere anymore.
Like
I want a baby, Rick.
and
Wait,
same.
hang on. Do you? Wait,
Oh
can
my
we talk about this?
Sorry, I didn't mean to steamroll. I was trying
all
to add
good.
some
Wait, do you
levity.
really want a baby?
Of course, I'd love a family.
Where are we at with?
Single,
Okay.
no prospects.
Do we know if the sperms are swimming?
Get
Well,
my mind checked every few months.
not to divulge too much information, but from the past,
Can we look at them under a
learned that they
microscope? Because
do.
I'm able to check. Actually,
why is that? That's
Patreon.
not
his
his.
Patreon. Can I look at your sperm under a microscope and I can tell you whether or not they're a swimming?
Sure.
Don't love bomber yet. Don't love bomber yet.
I wasn't going to do it to her. I was going to go in the hall, but
I tend to date people who I find to be funny when they're playing with me and making me laugh. I want to play back, and I also want to say that like that's okay. If you're a playful boy and you're dating a playful girl,
Okay.
and you want to do lots of bits, just be kind. But I don't want to poo-poo the bits.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Playful
think what I'm
male
seeing here,
or female.
I'm
I don't
seeing
think
here-
playful boy is going to play online.
Esther is saying, hey, Rick, do you want to play with Barbies? And then you get a hammer and you go bonk.
That's
And then Esther
awesome.
says, oh, hey, Rick, that's how you used to play with your turtles. That's not how I like to play with Barbies. And then I'll go, oh, thanks for telling me.
And then I would say, you're 35, grow up and throw the Barbies out. We have to go to my parents' house for dinner.
This podcast is sponsored by Squarespace.
Khalyla, when I had my own business, I absolutely relied on Squarespace. First of all, can you even consider what it would mean to build a website without Squarespace?
I don't know how to do anything.
Anything without Squarespace.
Squarespace gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid all in one place. So if you have a business like Esther
Yeah.
or myself,
You guys, Squarespace makes it really easy to showcase your expertise and engage clients with video content on your website. You can upload and organize your videos. Basically, no matter what it is you're doing, if it's your hobby, if it's your passion, if it's your career, whatever it is, Squarespace has everything that you need to just get a new thing going in your life. I know for me it's March, but it's still the new year. I'm still figuring things out, and I think Squarespace has everything you need. And I think you can go to squarespace.com/Trash Tuesday for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use offer code Trash Tuesday to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/Trash Tuesday for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use offer code Trash Tuesday to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Khalyla, and I know you specifically can't do anything in life without Squarespace, and so we love Squarespace. Thank you to Hulu for sponsoring this episode. See the new hilarious stand-up special, Bill Burr, Drop Dead Years, now streaming on Hulu. Get Bill's provocative, unfiltered, and honest point of view on everything from marriage and parenthood to dating advice and dropping dead. With his signature raw wit and sharp commentary, Bill fearlessly pushes boundaries as he navigates the nonsense and weighs in on mental health, social media, and societal norms. In his first Hulu stand-up special, no topic is off limits with Bill's refreshingly candid take on the chaotic landscape of our world today. Burr's unique ability to blend deep critique with laugh-out-loud humor is exactly what makes this one of his most personal and funniest hours yet. See the new hilarious stand-up special, Bill Burr, Drop Dead Years, now streaming on Hulu.
wait, back to babies. You check your sperm every couple months?
What?
I froze my. Can I say cum?
You cum, yeah, frozen cum.
I froze my cum a couple of times.
It's got a penis thing.
Can I ask why?
I thought it was a hormone thing,
Yeah.
Oh,
not
you
a
didn't want me to
penis
share
thing.
that.
What's the penis thing?
Penis works.
Well, the whole nut thing.
That's a testicle, not a penis.
Oh, they're connected. Mine are friends.
I have a
They're really getting
varicocele
close
in my
now. They
left
got
testicle.
no action.
You have a varicocele?
Varicocele in my left testicle. Extra veins. Varicose
Oh,
seal.
varicosity there. Yeah.
They work out.
Is that what Rainn Wilson had?
No, he had one was bigger than the other. He had
Oh, it was
another
swelling.
seal. It was like a hydrocele or
Yeah.
something like that.
Does it matter if my cum is cautious?
How cautious?
Well, I'm just saying the way it comes out.
Is it
It
slow-
doesn't spray. It kind of looks around and
As
then
someone who
goes down.
wait, no. As someone who has dated a weeper is what we call him.
Oh,
You
I
don't-
don't like that. You're gaslighting me.
You have no projectile. You kind of just boop dollop.
It comes on out. It could be the Zoloft.
Yeah, I've gotten pregnant by a weeper.
Well, there you go. You're going to have a weeping child one day.
I think you're
Or a
fine.
cautious
Yeah,
kid.
weeping cum is fine.
I just feel like my cum is intelligent, and so it wants to really look at the new surrounding before it trickles down to the old testes.
Let me tell you something. You're not wasteful. If
Mm-hmm.
you're not just spraying it onto hard surfaces, you're going, I have one place to be and one place only. Boop, there it goes.
I've only shot once. Really, I think I was 12, and it just
Were
went
you-
by my head on my parents' bed when they were gone.
Oh my God.
I mean, my bed.
What are those things that little things and you throw them on the ground and
My
they
penis.
pop?
Oh, poppers.
Poppers. Yeah, you're not a love bomber. You're a love popper.
I think poppers are a drug.
Yeah, what are
Oh,
those
yeah,
called?
poppers get you going.
Right.
Dance in the shadows with poppers. Can really have a good time.
Doesn't it prep you for like anal?
I've only danced with the Dark Dune monster a couple times.
Who's that?
The anal. I got in there, looked around. Come as cautious. We got right out.
And poppets make you have anal easier?
No, poppers.
Poppers.
Poppers is like that thing where you just go, yeah, let's get it. Let's do anal.
I'm not much of a drug guy.
You missed out.
Me
I'm
neither.
done, but I had my time.
Rick, back to your frozen cum. How much have you frozen? And
I mean,
what are the
I
plans?
honestly am already looking for my freezer's full, and I'm looking for.
Wait, you have it at home?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just making a joke, Esther.
Oh.
It's right next to the Halo top.
I've frozen it in 2 different places in case one of them burns down.
Okay.
So I might come in a couple of places.
One of them burns down.
And
What are they, jewels?
okay, I have a real question about this.
It's like having multiple hard drive backups.
Is it just backup?
Touche.
So in the event you find a partner and you're like, wow, she's great, we want to start a family, are you going to use your younger cum or your present cum?
Ooh.
I'm gonna use this cum.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to
Wait.
try that way
I
first.
just have it. I have it. I mean, you relate to this.
Yes, I was gonna say. Yeah.
I
too.
just in case, like the varicocele I had operation on in high school. It went away. My fertility was good. A woman I was seeing got pregnant, and she did not want to have that baby. We did not want to have that baby. We got rid of that
In
baby.
high school?
In college.
Oh, okay.
I think about it often
You sent
Okay.
the baby to college.
Why? Can I ask why you think about it often? What do you mean?
because I really, really like want to
You're getting
start
there.
I want to start a family, and I want to have kids. I want to find my partner, and I think about like, oh, you would have I was in college, so I'd have a 4-year-old now, and I think about it often.
I think about
Same.
my abortion often too, and that is the misconception with
Pun
the
intended?
whole conception.
Miss.
Just like pro-life debate,
Yeah.
is that there's this idea that women who get abortions are just willy-nilly go in there, get it done, and never think about it again, like it's some form of contraception. And I will say, like, it's been one of the more like painful times in my relationship or in my life. And even now, at 40, I think about, I would have had a child, 6 years old, 7 years old.
I think about that all the time.
Don't do
it's
this to
really,
me.
It's really personal and emotional for
It is,
sure.
and it's
with
hard,
the
but
two of you, and it's a whole.
I don't regret my decision. It was
Same.
the correct
Yeah.
decision for
Yeah.
me at that time
Same.
in my life.
She still owes me $800, but
I'm still owed money as well.
Maybe
He
you
was
guys
supposed
could make it even with each other. Oh no, that wouldn't work.
You won't give me your frozen cum.
she keeps asking me this.
You know what?
How do I know when she's joking?
You know what? Give me your younger cum because you're pretty tall.
It's not that younger cum. I did it last year.
Yeah.
I did it. I did it in 2 different places. One of the places I went in person, and it was a guy. It was just a guy there, and he gave me an alcohol wipe, and then I went into the room, and I came back out. I said, "I'm a little confused. I'm assuming this is for my penis, but wouldn't that be like? Do I want it to come through alcohol on the way out? Maybe like I'm supposed to do something else." He goes, "Yeah, you just wipe the tip of the penis." And as a joke, I'm like, all right, and then what do I do? And he started answering me. And he was teaching me how to masturbate. So I was either able to say, oh, no, I'm just joking, which I would have done if there were other people around.
Yeah.
Because I don't want other people to think and maybe I'm making fun of him or something. But I was already in there. And then if I'm just joking, then he thinks I'm making fun. Since it's just between the 2 of us and whoever's all the people that are listening to this now publicly.
So you're still taking that as an insult. That's a callback to the confrontation that happened before. I speak Ricky.
No,
Don't worry.
So he taught me how to masturbate. And I go, awesome. And then I went into the...
Was
So
that the first place? Because I remember getting calls after these sessions.
No, I did. I've been getting because of the varicocele. I get my my sperm checked every couple of years just to see because I don't want to have the surgery on it again now because one, it might come back and then I have to have it again, and I don't know if that's going to reverse or fix anything. So I'm just like, when I find my person when we're ready, I'll have that operation. Also, more scar tissue. Just I'll do it when I do it. So I'm just checking if it keeps getting worse or whatever. I just want to have the information. So when I also get blood work, like full panels, like every 2 or 3 months. I just want to go back and see where I just like data.
What are you looking for?
do you have
I
an
wanna
aura
know.
ring?
No, I thought about getting one.
I love it I like
I
that
understand.
too.
What's an
I do
aura
have some
ring?
hormones imbalances.
I know. I remember this.
Yeah, so that's why I started doing it. And as I was doing,
was it your estrogen that was high?
my testosterone and my estrogen were high. My testosterone was still high. Thankfully, my estrogen has gone back down, but sometimes my prolactin is a bit high. My cortisol's high.
Your prolactin is high.
It's
that's
it's not as variable as
Are
the
you
testosterone.
breastfeeding?
No.
That's usually I'm not joking. That's just what's high when you breastfeed.
Yeah, I'm just a bit stressed.
Okay.
And I don't think I'm stressed and it's affecting my hormones. I have learned how much like when I'm in a certain mood, I could be like, I have a feeling if I get blood work right now, I know where my cortisol levels are. Like I know where stuff is.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I think that cortisol is very easy to
The aura
feel.
ring tracks your stress too.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that
Yeah,
thing
I
would
thought about
explode
getting
on me.
one.
then.
I feel like that wouldn't be any type of metrics throws me into further.
I know, and I
shit.
need it.
Spiral.
It's an addiction.
Are you afraid that they might mislabel or somehow mix up your sperm? Let's suppose you're ready and you're like, you know what? I actually want to do like surrogacy.
I'd be able to tell by looking at it.
How?
The sperm or the baby?
Because I'd be asking a lot of questions.
Yeah, I was going to say something like that. I was going to say something like that. What are we doing now? Why are we here?
Did you guys hear this story? I just read it last week where a woman gives birth, a white woman gives birth to a black baby, and then the family of the baby then sues the woman for custody to basically, hey, that's our baby, and it was the
It's
wrong
horrible.
embryo implanted into the wrong woman.
And so
Oh.
this woman raised the
For both
baby
all
for,
parties.
for like
Horrible
horrible.
for everyone.
She had the baby. It's her baby for 6 months, and then she has to give it up because it's not biologically.
Oh,
hers.
my
Oh, wait a
God.
minute. So it was an embryo put in. So it was neither her egg nor her sperm.
Correct.
Neither,
Wrong.
yeah.
Right. Well, as heart-wrenching as that is the right decision.
Of course, it's not her baby, but
Yeah.
imagine
Oh
carrying
my
and
gosh.
bonding.
Terrible. Fucking terrible. I'm serious.
No.
Yeah,
way.
that
Terrible.
sucks.
I mean, I just think about that like when you're fostering a dog and then you want to get it and then you're like, we can't. Wait, these people, it's like, but I've been loving this thing for 3 weeks. Imagine
6
carrying
months.
it for 10
All right, this is a
months.
dumb question, but I think I'm kind of
Oof.
that's me here. Now, did the woman whose baby it was she carrying her baby and it was a swap?
No, Brent doesn't. I don't think you know how this
Okay,
works.
I don't know how this
So
works.
listen, a woman will have her eggs
Whoops.
harvested,
Yeah.
and then a man will come in a freezer or room temperature.
They create an embryo.
Then
Yeah,
they
okay.
put it together. So the embryo is the sperm and the egg. So that exists outside of body because
So let's
of
say
technology.
me and Rick made a baby, and then we
Okay.
put it in
Rick
the
and I.
freezer. that is what Dave would have a problem with too.
And then you and I, Brent,
Yeah, thank
the
God.
same. We made an embryo as well.
Okay.
But they put our embryo
sorry.
in Khalyla.
Yeah, they put their embryo into mine.
And then you guys have a baby. You're like, why is this baby so Jewish?
Basically, we both are driving the same car. Okay. Well, the same kind of car. And I get your keys, you get my keys. We end up going in the car. We think we're okay, and as we're driving, we realize from the inside, oh, this isn't my car. This is somebody else's.
I appreciate that, but I got it when she said it. And also, you triggered memories from me being in special ed when you put your hand on me to explain
I
it.
saw you look. You were like,
That was
this.
like Miss Rushan again.
Can we roll that back?
The same car. Okay.
That was crazy. I saw that moment when you looked
was
down
like,
at your hand, like,
all right,
why
I
are you
got
touching
it.
me? Were you in special ed?
Oh yeah, I was a desk in the hall kid.
Okay.
Wait, that's not. Is that because you were misbehaving?
Yeah, I just didn't get it. I mean, it's a deeper story that kind of sparked a lot of my shit.
I want to
You
know
know.
about it. If you
All right,
wanna
I'll
share.
give the Cliff Notes to it. So, I was like a Pepe Le Pew. You know, kid believed in cooties. I was in elementary school. I didn't. I looked
Harassed
like a
women.
Swedish Chucky doll. I would steal my mom's jewelry, give it to girls. I'd want girlfriends. I'd write poetry. I'd be like, hey, what's
Love
up?
bomber, early love
it?
bomber.
I just was like, I knew what I liked, and then, you know.
But Pepe Le Pew is
Well,
total
yeah.
love
he's-
bomber.
Did girls like
Oh,
you
he's
a
a-
lot?
No. I'm not kidding. I'll send a photo. You can see what I look like. But in my mind, I was the shit. I always say first grade was the best I ever was with women.
Did the women get arrested?
No. So what happened was, point being, girls never gave me any attention. And I'm like in third grade, and this new girl comes on our bus, and she sits next to me, and she goes, hi. And I'm like, hi. And we became really good friends. And I was like, wow, I'm friends with a girl. I like her. This is a little tragic. A month after that, she's not on the bus. I found out her and her whole family got murdered.
A little tragic.
Okay, completely tragic.
Wait, what?
Wait, who?
Did you know this?
Yeah.
I remember this story a little bit.
So my whole world is flipped. You're not thinking about mortality or death. It was all over the news. I guess a cousin who was psychotically sick killed the whole family. And I noticed one day on the bus they're planting a tree for her at the elementary school. And I just started thinking, what's the point of this? What is school? Why go to school? What is the point of this thing? What is life? I started questioning things about, like, I don't even like what they're telling me to like. I don't like this. I don't like that. So then I had an existential crisis in 3rd grade with my bus driver. And I just was saying, what is the point of me going in there? And I go, so you can learn. Why do I need to learn things that I don't want to learn? And so I had this whole thing. The principal had to come out. They had to take me off the bus. That's what started my special ed journey.
So that's not special ed. I mean, it's like you clearly did not lack intelligence.
I had a problem with just, I'm dyslexic and all that. And I had this size head as a baby too. My mom had me pretty late. And they really thought I was special. I fell out of a high chair.
Wait, what's wrong with your head?
Well, I grew into it. But I was like Stewie when I was a baby. I was a big-headed kid.
When you say your mom had you late, you mean her age, or you were?
Yeah,
no, it was at
she
10
was
p.m.
about 40.
No, I thought maybe
okay?
how I interpreted it was like at 42 weeks versus
That's
40
what I was
weeks.
thinking.
Yeah, I was chilling. Yeah, I just remember then I had to start taking like 3-hour IQ tests with blocks and stuff once a year
They're
until
supposed
9th
to be 30
grade.
minutes.
I don't know what was going on. And
They wanted me to put this square
I just had a
in the
real
whole...
understanding of, and in 5th grade I knew I wanted to be an actor and a filmmaker and all that. I just knew what I wanted. So I just didn't see the point in me doing other things. I'd get by. I went to college. I graduated, all that. So by senior year, I was just in the hall. My teachers were like, okay, why don't you just be in the hallway and then we'll let you teach the last 5 minutes of class. And then I would just do bits. That was just kind of what it was. But it all sparked from that situation. Wow, the first girl that ever liked me was murdered.
That is an unbelievable origin story. Like, it is funny, but it's also obviously not. Like, it is.
I uncovered it in therapy when I actually, Rick, went to therapy. Not yours, but I went to
Why'd you
another.
say me?
Well, because you offered a therapist to me a while ago. But I went to therapy and was.
Handsome, therapized man.
But
who
really
is,
tracked it. Like, why wasn't I in a relationship until I was 26? Why did I always surface play? Why was it always about like, oh, I don't want them to see the real me. I'll just be charming and fun and we'll have a good time and and that will be the end of it. I was like, well, what am I scared of? Why do I hate me? What is going on? What happened to that cocky kid?
It's just such a mature thought.
Well, it's fun to reveal that stuff. And when I brought it up, kind of like I did now, the therapist was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. That I think that's probably." He goes, "Yeah, that's probably where you had some intimacy issues starting out."
I had those same thoughts that you had.
Well, that's why my cum is cautious.
I went
want to make sure she's still around.
Why am I learning this? I don't want to learn this. But that was in college. The fact that you had that in elementary school is like, I know that you're saying there's learning, struggling or whatever there, but to me it sounds like you're a highly intelligent and emotionally intelligent child.
Come from an intelligent family. I
Ricky,
was
you're
aware
making,
that I was
funny noises.
Well, because there's so many things I'm dumb at. Like
Spell recess.
R-I
L
Z K 4. All right, Risa 4. No, I'm up there in intelligence, I think. But no, my older brother's smarter. My younger brother was smarter. Parents are geniuses. So I'm smart enough to know I'm not that smart, which I love. This is the best place to be.
You never want to be the smartest person.
Yeah, it's so stressful.
Yeah, Rick, what's it like?
Oh, I don't.
Oh, he does a lot of dumb shit too. We're a couple of idiots. Take it again. Cut. Here we go. Oh,
Palms up.
Okay, palms up real quick. Resetting the room. Quiet on set. Oh, he does some dumb shit too.
That's lunch. Sorry.
They're going to cut me out of this. Is this a sponsor? Yeah, of course. I always thought I'd find the one and then things would work out. I had the vision board. I even got the girl that I wanted. All the things on the vision board were coming true. Even as oh, I want her to look like Natalie Portman meets Keira Knightley. She did. You know?
Doesn't Natalie
I'm
Portman
right
look like
here.
Keira Knightley?
I know, but that was my type, so it was perfect, gorgeous. I was like, I want her to be funny and ambitious and have the. Oh, it's working. Oh, I can marry her. Oh, she's great with my grandma. Oh, this is fantastic. Like, I just thought everything, I'm going to get this. Then I'll be ready to have a relationship because I'll believe in me enough that this person I'll be confident enough to be myself. So it's a lot easier to play the field than it is to give yourself. So I thought if I accomplished certain things that I'd have the confidence to go up to somebody like that and actually let her see the other side, you know. And of course that didn't work.
Why?
But well, she saw the other side. But
Hello to the
you know.
other side.
But now I'm like, I said, I'm not gonna. That hurts so much. That was the hardest thing I ever went through. That I was like,
It hurts so much, dude.
it just hurts so much that it's like losing. I didn't get a dog for years because I lost 2 when I was a kid, and it hurts so much. So it's like,
How do you
do
guys-
I want to go through that fucking pain again?
Question
So-
for both of you guys.
Yeah.
When it hurts so much, do you run away or do you wallow?
I'm Irish. I'm like a dog who dies in the woods. I run away for a while, like, which was the wrong thing to do. You know, they say halt, hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. That's an AA term. You know, which I'm not in, but point being, my dad is. So he would tell me that. Don't be hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, because that's what's going to trigger a bunch of shit.
Isn't that what it says
Isolation
on
is the
Statue of
devil's
Liberty?
work.
Give us your
I had
horny,
friends
angry, lonely, and tired.
Honestly, Rick, I'm about to cry. You're gaslighting me, I think. But no, my whole thing is, okay, Brent, you've done it. And what's great is if you have enough sense to question yourself, have mirror moments, as I call it, which is, my dad used to tell me, have mirror moments with yourself. So you look in the mirror, take away your ego and defensiveness, come to terms with the fact that even if it wasn't your fault, it was in some way. And you got to work on you. That's it. Because everything is your fault in some way. So
Gosh,
you can,
it's such great advice.
I
Even if it's
know.
not
Preacher.
your fault, it's your
Yeah.
fault in some way, and
Yeah.
that's.
because you have to find out,
absolutely
okay,
true.
yeah,
It
you
gives
got
you
in a fight.
responsibility and power.
You're a part of it. No matter what, you're a part of it.
Exactly. And I started questioning things in the relationship, little things like when I be on a plane doing a gig, this is 5 years after the relationship, and I see a couple, and I see she's sitting in the middle and he's got the window. And I said, first time we did that, I took the window and she had the middle. Why wouldn't I offer her the window? Little things.
Oh God, this is really hitting hard for me.
Just little shit that you kind of put together.
The time Bobby stayed in first class and I was all the way in the back of the plane.
With that.
So a lot
I
of
stayed for
self,
another 8 years, but
a lot of self-evaluating, and this is where I think, to piggyback with Rick, we've talked about this, how we both want a relationship now. Like, it's not about hooking up or anything. I'm 38 now. I'm like, all right, I think I'm finally ready emotionally. Kinda. I had some things happen in the last year that made that a little tougher. So I was
sorry
like,
about that.
yeah. But I'm like, all right, the next girl I meet is going to be somebody I'm going to date. So that's the only standard I have.
Me? Right here.
So I haven't been on a date in like almost a year. So, because it's just like, well, yeah, I could hook up or this, but I'm not going to date. That's not going to work.
Well, that's
So,
really smart to.
It's like, at least try it. Might not work. Which leads
Yeah.
me to my next word, ghosting. That's happening a lot to me. That one is the only one I knew when I'm looking at this board. I was like, fucking ghosting and me. They always disappear, don't they?
Where are you at, Rick?
Oh, he's the shit right now. This is the best he's ever looked.
It is
I'm
the
a
best
sad-
you've ever looked.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a sad boy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it or no? Off camera?
You know what? I kind of do, for some reason. But also, like, I've set some boundaries for myself of not like talking too much about my personal life on publicly. But like, getting into a relationship is a big decision, as is getting out, and that transition both ways could be difficult. But getting out of a relationship with somebody when like you're like, oh, okay, maybe this is my person, maybe I'm theirs, maybe we could clean up the house a little bit before we're happy with where it is, and then it's like the house never gets clean enough. There's so many reasons why that analogy isn't great, but like on its surface of just like,
I
oh,
get
you're
it.
working towards this thing, and then you're not anymore, and it's just like, I'm just like, it's so hard. It's so hard, and like then the idea of like, oh well, find it with somebody else. It's like, I mean, I guess, but I can't right now.
That's why I'm saying let's just do it.
No, but you're still somebody else, dude.
You know what? Are you talking about British me?
What does that mean?
I think you know what it means.
Oh, yes, I really like your British you.
Just that I narrowed it down to one thing. This is all I'm looking for, because this is what my dad did. My parents are married 53 years. Find somebody who makes you the best version of you. That's all I'm looking for. A better version of me. You know, that's it. And trick her and pray she never catches on.
And find somebody that you offer enough value to do the same for her.
Exactly.
No,
And
I
I
know
think
that.
that's
You're
where
missing my point.
No, I wasn't.
No, you know what? Let's get out of here. Esther.
When I feel valuable in a relationship, I feel valuable. So like it feels really good to be able to offer things to your partner, and for them to appreciate it and or want it, not because what I have to offer is so great, unless it is for that person. So that's a big part of the grieving thing too. Like I want somebody who makes me laugh, who I think is kind, who I think is so fucking hot, you know, like all of these things. And then like also they have to be okay with what I am. Not only are they love that, they like that. I'm like, it's like, you know, and it's like, there we are. So then when you go like this, I'm like, wait a minute, am I not valuable to this person anymore, or the other way around, or both? And sometimes it's hard to know, like, do I feel disconnected from this person because they don't see the value in me, or am I not appreciating the value in them? So they're, and not that it's one or the other, but it's so confusing. And I also feel like if it was there at some point, we were either mistaken or resentment lost it. And it's like, I am somebody who, for better and for worse, I just like, let's figure it out. And I have a hard time knowing when to walk away. I also have a hard time believing that when I do, it was the right decision. And where this idea of right or wrong, when you have this idea of right or wrong, I think there isn't that. But that logically I understand that, but emotionally I'm still so connected to the person and missing it and wanting to figure it out. And like the idea of getting into a relationship with somebody else, even just like dating somebody else during that, the idea is like, I am not gonna be able to see this person's value because unfair to them, I'm like, I'm not even seeing them. I'm still like, I think they're a distraction. It's watching a movie or something. And I very much am in touch with that. I've gone on some dates. I've had this conversation early in those dates. I you know, kind of like what you were saying, letting the person know where you're at. But I also know that that's going to confuse them. It's going to confuse me. And I might be shutting things down too soon. But like, I can't do it. And I don't know. I'm also feeling myself like, I think that's enough.
You've been going on dates?
I've gone on some dates, yeah.
Rock on, dude.
Thanks, man. They almost they just sometimes make you feel worse.
Dates?
Yeah. At least for me, the kindest thing I ever did for myself after my biggest breakup was be alone. And at that time, it felt horrible. It felt horrible to go on hikes alone. It felt horrible to eat out alone, to do anything alone. But it allowed me to just feel all of the horrible things in real time versus being distracted and then dealing with it down the road, already, possibly with someone new.
I've always had a long period of alone in between relationships.
Which is good.
But this one in particular is a certain kind of alone. This kind of alone doesn't just feel like, hey, like I've stepped back, I've worked on myself, I will continue to. I'm just saying, like, I've gone through those things to get to the point where I'm ready to offer myself in a way that I'm proud of. I'm there. That's why I was doing it before. I was feeling insecure in that relationship, or I didn't realize this or that. Not that I know everything, but I'm like, I have a pretty good idea of who I am and what I want and what I have to offer. This alone is more so because, like, you know, when you know, you didn't do stand up for a little bit, right? And then part of it was because you don't want to prioritize it. Your body's changing, your family is changing, your life has changed. Then it gets to a point where it's like, oh, but I've gone so long, I'm getting rusty. And how much of this is me not being ready because of where my priorities lie versus how much of this is me feeling not ready because of fear? And I check in with myself of why and why not. And if it's fear, maybe I still won't do it, but at least I know. This feels just like I'm still pregnant. It just feels like it's not fear. I'm not I can't right now.
It's funny you say that because I grew up dancing, as you know, and me and the girls in my dance school would always...
Great dancer. You might have no idea. Like legitimately good dancer.
We would always say that if we missed 1 week, we would also miss the next week because we were so scared to go back after missing a week. So it would always 1 week would turn to 2 weeks because we were so scared. And that's how I feel with stand up too, which is like, I didn't do a set for 2 weeks. I don't ever want to do it again. I'm too scared I'll be bad. But you're saying that's not, you're actually in this situation, you're not ready.
I'm scared, but I don't know if fear is the right word, but the negative emotion I'm feeling is not about dating other people. It's about still the grief I'm feeling of losing somebody. So it's like, yeah, that's where my attention is. You know, if your body is hurting because of your morning sicknesses and your daytime and your nighttime sicknesses and all the shit that you went through, stand up isn't even in my fucking like that's maybe I'm scared to do stand up. I don't know, but that's not my priority right now. Like my body hurts and I need to focus on that and like I mean that's how it just like talking too much. I'm really like
You're not
sad.
talking.
Can I ask how long this period has been going on?
Yeah, 4 months.
Okay, that's reasonable to me. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey.
That's a short amount of time.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Why don't we jump into the dance together?
Hay is for horses, friend.
Touche.
So
we're single.
Stand-up's been going great.
You're on
I was telling Brent on the way over here. The past little bit, and for the first time, and I don't think there's a correlation, but I am glad that I feel like good at something when part of the sadness was like feeling like I have value that I'm not able to offer or feel seen through, which is okay.
Okay.
You know?
Sorry, I have a little bit of old lady advice that I've learned from therapy. You know that feeling that you describe where it's like that, and you feel just so deeply connected and, you know, everything is just firing. And the person's funny, they get you.
Is this going to be what Dr. Drew told you?
It's all
Similar.
It's all in ourselves.
I spent a lifetime always chasing that. And the best decision I ever made was to do away with my criteria of they have to be funny, they have to be this. And I just chose someone great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And by whatever great is a definition that you yourself come up with. But for me, great was kind, reliable,
I know,
loyal,
believe me,
supportive,
I know.
And all of these things. And maybe they didn't have all the bells and whistles I had previously chased in my 20s and 30s. And maybe they weren't as creative or all of these things, but they were so much, it turns out they are so much more than that. And they just make me feel like myself again.
Yeah, I agree.
They make me feel so fully loved, and they make me feel anchored.
I agree. I don't agree with the idea of somebody not being funny. I'm not that if I'm not laughing, I need.
If you need that, that's what I'm saying. Someone great is
my
your
whole
definition.
family.
That's his. I was just about to say.
My whole family is that. That's how
your
we show
mom's
love
the
and
best
receive
killer
love.
we know.
I think
Your mom's a killer.
For me, it's not
Like,
that they have to be funny.
gotta
They
meet
just have to
Mrs.
understand
Glassman.
your humor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And I like this ex I'm even thinking of now. It was like made me laugh a lot, and if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have been as attracted to her.
Did she make you cry a lot too, though?
Yeah, I don't want to get into talking about
Okay.
like any specific things other than what you're saying is top of the list. Absolutely.
That's
It's
your
non-negotiable.
non-negotiable.
And then if somebody isn't that funny, but they're interesting or they could teach me things, but at least we could still laugh at stuff together, I'm okay with it. But laughing with somebody
You're right.
is non-negotiable as well.
That is a non-negotiable for me as well. Like the laughing together, but they don't have to be a stand-up, you know,
No.
level funny.
Stand-ups are not even that funny.
Some are.
Yeah, off
Some are.
stage. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, like I connect with people through bits, and like I want to be able to bit with her, and I want her to want to bit with me, and like I also want her to be able to say, hey, I don't like that bit, and I want to be able to be like, read you loud and clear, and just like communicate and be direct, and then learn from each other. So eventually, like you don't have to tell each other.
It is very bonding.
And like what I have with him is Brent. When Brent comes on, the numbers are low. Whatever might be real or whatever might be fake, I believe, and now I feel validated since you said, we're just, not that it's good or bad. It's just like we have that shorthand to where he knows my intention. And like you build that with somebody who's funny. And then like you also like you fuck each other and you love each other and stuff. It's like,
It's still on us.
What's that?
Still talking us. Because
No.
I cannot be a bottom with you. I've seen that root.
That Rue?
Root.
Oh, thanks, man.
He's a big boy.
Thanks, buddy.
His ass?
No, we both have no ass.
What are you looking for?
Bigger ass.
Con woman. Oh, I don't know. Just a vagabond. Just a real loose woman. Just a rough. Just, you know, she chews tobacco and she calls me gay because I like zins. You know, she's all missionary. No creativity in the bedroom. But she reads. But she reads real, like, anarchist books. She's racist, but she says it's a joke. You know, just matted hair, but she's not ethnic. I don't understand it. You know, pale all summer. Just
So
floppy
you want to date
tits.
Wednesday Addams?
No.
Most men do.
Mostly uglier. I want a real rough bitch. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, somebody that's great. I have a similar thing. My mom's the funniest person in the family.
My mom's funnier than your mom.
I know. It's two different styles of comedy. My mom is a New England, ball buster.
That's the best version of my dad is stronger than your dad.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
My
Yeah.
mom's funnier than your mom.
I would like funny, but you don't have to be intentionally funny. Sometimes it's really funny to be with somebody who's just accidentally funny,
Thank
and it
God
makes
for
you laugh.
that.
I love that. I'll tell you my number one thing: self-awareness. If she's self-aware, like whether she says something kind of arrogant or she's not, something didn't work, and she's like, "Well, that was stupid. I shouldn't have said that." I love self-awareness. That's like number one. Then I'd say trust. Then I'd say looks. Self-awareness is a big thing. Just dating a lot. It's like you're not aware of how you really don't get that it wasn't the waiter's fault. I just
It's a restaurant awareness.
I have older parents. I'm on the phone with my mom and dad, and I said, it's 2 days before his birthday. I go, Dad, you looking forward to 80? And my mom goes, the second he's 80, I'm out of here. I told I said this when I was younger, I'm not going to be married to a fucking 80-year-old. My dad's on the phone. And I go, where are you going to go? It's all planned. Don't worry. And then I call on the birthday. I go, you're not gone yet, Mom? She goes, well, I'm not going to leave now. You leave at night. You get a hotel in advance. And my dad's like, huh? See what I'm dealing with? That stuff
You should
is
see what
funny
my
to
mom
me.
would do
I
with
love
that.
shit like that. Yeah, actually, she would put the pizzazz on it.
I'm just joking.
My mom would be the writer
got
in the back,
uncomfortable with the story.
and your mom would be on stage, coming back yelling at my mom like, that didn't hit hard enough.
Yeah, no, you're telling that story, and I'm just like, it's not my place, but just wrap it up.
I have this theory that the funniest boys come
Find
from
it.
funny moms and
Yeah.
not funny dads. And I think the funny girls come from funny dads.
I think that rings true with everyone I know in comedy.
Yeah, my dad's unintentionally funny.
That's how my mom is.
My brothers are all funny, so everybody's one class clown except me, by the way.
Okay, I
Like-
know this is a part of the podcast where it feels like we've gotten to some deep stuff and maybe we can
Oh,
use like
yeah.
a light subject, but I actually want to go back to something really dark that we all talked about.
Oh
and
boy,
and I'm really sorry.
it's not the murder.
I I'm finding myself still thinking about this, that you all started to nod your head and all in agreement, and it's that you all think about past pregnancies that have occurred and what that would be like if you had a kid that age. Because I have to tell you, when I'm in my darkest moments at night and my anxiety is running off, it's not so much that specific a situation, but it's a miscarriage. It's why didn't I try sooner? I could have had a child this age. And that is such a dark thought for me as of recently, and I just feel such a sense of like freedom to hear other people in the room share that. And I just like, I don't know, I'm feeling very emotional. I just want to like thank you guys for being vulnerable and sharing that, because again, that's not something that I would have wanted to say openly out loud, but I think about that. I go, well, I've been with my partner for X amount of years. Why didn't we get started sooner? And I know we could sit down and we'd have a list of a bunch of reasons and they would all make sense, but my mind just goes to, well, why didn't you, you know?
Yeah.
So
Also, there's a good chance, right? Like you don't know, you can't rewind and know for sure if you would have kept the pregnancy, if it was, if you felt ready for it at that time, however long ago.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
it's just a really hard subject, and I feel like in comedy we just talk about like abortions or like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like fodder for my entire decade of podcasting.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you find it's refreshing when you want to vault things, and then when you don't, somebody hits you up going, I needed to hear that. Or, you know, that's kind of the beauty of this art form. And don't take me not serious because I have this thing on me. You know what? I don't want a baby anymore.
I do.
No, I'm kidding. I do.
How do you...
I'm so impressed with that. I didn't even know that I wanted to. This is my whole thing. I didn't know I wanted kids. I didn't know I wanted a baby. And the fact that, this is all hitting me now, where I never wanted one. And I'm like, why didn't I? I'm just so impressed that you guys know you want them.
I wanted a baby for years. I wanted a dog for years. It took me years to get him.
I will say there's a bigger cost for that decision for women. So that's why we're like, oh, should we not? Because I mean, our organs get pushed up to our throat.
Well, same with every time you have sex with me. It's the same thing.
It's got a root.
That's been my favorite lore, by the way. One of my favorite lore about myself that I read is that you and I had a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Cool.
Yeah, and
I don't know all the gossip that has happened on podcast stuff. I haven't watched them. I just know there was some stuff with different people, different times. And I found out about that stuff because people were messaging me because names weren't said. Maybe they have been released now. I don't know. Or it's been proven not real or whatever. But I would get tagged in stuff and message stuff that like it was like I've been doing that or we've been doing stuff. I still get messages and stuff about it. I don't know if it's my favorite lore because I do feel like it puts me in a position, like I don't want to respond to any of it and I don't, but it does put me in a position where it's like, well, if you don't say anything, then it proves everything. And it's blown over, but I used to get so many messages about it.
It's my
never
favorite
win.
because it's so absurd to me. Not this...
I've been in relationships and
Cut to
there
his
was no
pants.
time.
It's always you or Theo. Those are the two that
I
I
always
get.
hear Theo about you.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because, pardon me if, you opened this door, but like, was it said that it was a comedian?
I don't even know what was said or why. No, I have no idea.
It's the internet. You'll
It's
never
the internet.
win. You respond, you lose. Either way.
It's true.
There is also a part of me that's always flattered when I'm part of a conversation of someone being desired. I'm not going to lie to you.
Dude,
That's a guy thing.
I had that with Jordana Brewster. I did a game show with her. It's super sweet. I met her fiance there, and we just were partners on this game show. And then my older brother just sends me, he goes, are you dating Jordana Brewster? I go, no, but that's cool. I was like, no, I'm sitting here with cautious cum. You think she's going to hang out with me? She's fast and furious.
There's a girl who I went out with one time during the day to get coffee years ago, and paparazzi took pictures of it.
Oh, I think I know who.
Well, if you do, it's not worth putting anything up here right now.
The only reason I know is because I love her.
She's amazing.
She's an Australian
I
like
don't
pop
know
like icon.
All right, Rick.
Let the record show I don't know who it is.
So the picture, so we were walking after coffee together, and then something like her language changed, and to enough to where I'm like, what just happened? And I look around and I see, oh, there are people like hiding in bushes taking pictures and stuff. So I stopped walking at her speed and just like let her walk ahead, and I kind of went like this, like, and there's a few pictures, one of which is her like 8 feet in front of me and me like this, but it looks like I'm looking down at her butt like this. and just, you know, captions of blah 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 blah.
That should be a meme.
In my Instagram bio, it says #Jewish heartthrob. I used to do a bit about how I'm not good looking enough to be a heartthrob, but maybe I could be like a niche heartthrob. And there was Daily Man, all these things, and one of them was this person with Jewish heartthrob, and I was like, I didn't like the picture because it looked like I was like looking at her butt. I didn't like that this isn't true. I'm uncomfortable. We went on one thing together. But there was a part of me that was like, it's cool that they didn't say self-proclaimed Jewish heartthrob. You know, like, oh, they think I'm this Jewish heartthrob that this pop star, you know, is into.
It was so funny.
So it was flattering.
Because I'm a fan of hers. I actually.
So how did you come across that? You just Googling
by
it?
accident. Because
Why didn't you ever ask me about it?
And then I was like, but then we weren't friends yet.
Oh, got it.
We weren't friends yet, and I would see you at the Comedy Store, and I was like, is that so-and-so's Jewish heartthrob?
Cool.
And I remember telling Bobby, and I'm like, wait a second, like he used to date so-and-so. And I even showed him the picture.
That's cool.
And it's so crazy how it's just one moment, one coffee date.
Yeah.
Blown out of proportion.
But admitting like you know, an ego thing, like the fact that like, not even that the fact that just that like whoever wrote the article, and I think I'm a catch, but whoever wrote the article thought like, wait a minute, you just from this you're assuming that, you know, this girl is interested in it. I was just like, it's flattering.
It's validating.
So when people are like, oh, you hear Glassman's, you know, pumping Khalyla's guts full of lead from Home Alone. I'm like, I don't want that rumor spread out there, but like, what? People think like I'm this little, like this guy that like fucking girls and stuff. People like me.
Yeah.
So, you know, spread your rumors. Spread your rumors.
So spread away, people.
Spread it well. Stop spreading.
Yeah. You know what? Stop spreading, people.
Stop the spread.
I don't know what to do. I just
Ricky's on
learned
the
some
loose tour. I am on the road. Most of my dates are coming to an end by May. I'm starting up again in August. Go to punchup.live/Rick Glassman to find out when I'll be in your city. I'm also in April, May, June, and August doing a live Take Your Shoes Off here in LA up there. And April 5th at the Hollywood Improv, Rick Glassman and Friends. I would like to cordially invite you, if you're in town, to be one of them. I'm going to be recording a podcast in the green room during this and do a show. I'm doing the thing I was telling you about.
That's so exciting.
And I want to find some friends to do it with. And April 5th, if you would like to come on. So tickets at punchup.live/Rick Glassman. You could let me know now or another time.
I have to look and see when I'm back in town.
You're invited.
Yeah, I'm shooting
Thank
a Marvel
you.
movie.
Oh,
Spread
you
it.
can come. Just I can have you have the numbers.
Yeah. There's a dip now.
No, we'd love to have you too.
Are you going on tour?
Call back.
Are you going on tour, Brent?
No, not on tour. I'm stopping comedy and I'm going to do music.
Can I join you? I'll
On
be
music?
I'll be your backup dancer.
Oh my God. Let's do it.
Okay, good.
I just got to figure out how to write a song. No, I'm doing gig sparing.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, San Jose.
Chicago,
for me.
March 21st and 22nd. And also, I'm doing a belly room show again this week if you want to do it.
Love to.
Okay.
Right here.
Yeah. I'd love to have both of you.
No, I got it.
No, that's consider it booked.
Yeah, just asked him to prom, but looked at me and said,
You can drive us.
yeah, you want to go?
because he
We're
did the
trying to get
last
the money for the
one.
limo if you just want to come with yourself.
He did the last one. I was
Uh-huh.
meaning to ask him. I'd love to have you both for sure.
It's all
100%.
good.
It won't.
It's all
It'll
good.
be have passed.
When is it?
before- March 13th, this Thursday. It will have passed before this comes out. But
Mhm. Happiness is a water cup and a marathon. I'll get my drink soon enough.
Khalyla, your shows?
I don't have any.
Lucky.
Not with that attitude.
No.
we're gonna maybe change our name
Oh yeah, that's what we wanted to maybe.
to Banana Break.
Oh, is that why there's bananas?
Kind of.
Nice.
We've always had bananas.
I don't mind
Nice.
that name.
Banana
Ooh,
break.
that's a compliment coming from Rick.
Something.
That's a
I'm going
win.
to start a podcast. Rick keeps asking me to do it, and I
You
got to
should.
do one.
That's a great name. Rick keeps asking.
I also think I got the
not
dates
bad.
wrong. The live Take Your Shoes
different art
Off
form
in
for
LA is April 5th. The Rick Glassman and Friends, the stand-up that I want you to go to is April 14th. So Just go to my
What
site.
is the difference?
I've been doing live Take Your Shoes Off podcasts.
What do you do?
I have a couple of guests on, and we're funny as shit. I'll be honest with you, it's been like feeling really good.
Do you do it only in LA?
I've been doing it Dynasty Typewriter, only in LA so far. Yeah, and
Great
I'm also,
venue.
if you're not in LA, streaming it live. And
On what?
I don't know. Go to the Squat Up or something. Just go to the punchup.live/Rick Glassman, and it'll have all the
What do
instruction
you
there.
use on your hair?
I shampoo twice a week. I condition every time I shower. And then I put in 2 things. One is hairstory, one pump, and then 2 pumps of, what's it called, where it has the small degree symbol and then number 6, starts with an O.
06 degrees 0.
Are we?
Olaplex?
Yes, I think.
Can
Good. Are we happy?
No, can I have you do an experiment for my hair care brand?
Yes.
Specifically because it's all clean all clean ingredients, but
Papa
it
John's.
is incredible with curly hair.
Next time I come on here, or if you guys come back on my podcast, I will use your product beforehand, and we could talk about it.
Ebb Ocean Club, guys. EbbOceanClub.com. I will also give you some.
No, I get it. You know what? Ew.
Slugs, we love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you to our amazing guests, Brent Morin and Alvin. And we'll see you next
See, why
week.
after all that shit, and you say stuff like that?
We'll see you next week with a brand new episode.